everyone. Today we're gonna talk about Twitch networking and these like Twitch networking groups. They're all over the place. They're on Reddit, they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, big time on Facebook, and they're full of a bunch of small streamers desperately trying to figure out how they can get more viewers, and they end up doing this whole like supporting each other thing, which is just code word for they watch each other. Before we get too deep into this, let me explain a little bit about myself. I have a main channel. Currently I'm at 350,000 subscribers on my main YouTube channel. I get several million views a day pretty consistently, and previously I streamed on Twitch for 6 years, 3 of which were professionally full-time, making good money. I enjoy helping smaller creators, sharing any knowledge that I pick up along the way. It's just something I enjoy doing. I always have, and I'm gonna continue to do it for quite some time. With that said, a lot of the advice I give, smaller creators don't really like, and they don't necessarily have the best reaction, because usually it means that they're not doing enough work to get what they're trying to have. And a lot of people just don't like hearing that. They don't like, it's painful. So when you go in these Twitch networking groups and you try and give good advice, you tend to get pounced on, which is what we're gonna be talking about today. I wanna show you what these Twitch groups are like. And hopefully I can prove to you by the end of this video that spending a lot of time in these types of groups and networking with other people is not going to garner you a whole lot of viewers. And at the end of the day, the lesson is the best way to get more viewers is just to make dope content. It's really that simple. People are attracted to things that are nice and shiny, and if they like it, they tend to stay. And as you continue to do stuff that's dope and attract people, people tend to stack and your audience gets bigger. If you're doing a lot of content and your audience isn't stacking, no matter how many new people come in, that means it's not good enough. You're not captivating people. That's the lesson, but let me show you about Twitch networking groups. Okay, so on the Twitch networking group, 68,000 members, I made a post. I said something that got me in a lot of trouble, but I wanted to stir things up and get people thinking. There's a lot of people that didn't like what I had to say and they just doubled down, called me an asshole. But there's a lot of people that reached out to me and are like, dude, you blew my mind. Thank you for posting that. You helped me. Here's what I said. Networking is not how you get viewers. Making dope content that people want to watch is. Simple statement. A lot of people think when they're first getting into this that they need to meet a bunch of other smaller people to try and get into some circles and stuff like that. At the end of the day, that's not going to get you that many viewers, and it's going to cost you a bunch of time. Trying to get a bunch of streamers to come watch your stream or watch your YouTube videos or whatever, they all want the same thing. So they're only there because they want to get something in return, okay? And that's not a good community and audience to build up. The audience you want is a bunch of people that want to watch what you're making. And the best way to find that is to look at some things that people want and then make said thing. That's the best way to build up an audience, is build up an audience of people who want what you're making. So anyways, a lot of people started freaking out in the comments, so I had to clarify, and I said, I know a lot of people are going to disagree. I ask you to consider one thing. Look at the sizes of the channels of people who disagree and ask yourself if what they are claiming is working for them. I'm giving this advice as someone who nets hundreds of millions of views on my YouTube channel, where I also stream to a decent audience. I think it's wise to listen to people who are actively growing incredibly fast every day versus people who are not. A lot of the advice given in these groups is misinformation that holds a lot of you back. Here's my stats from the past 30 days. I show my stats here. In the past 30 days, I got almost 75 million views, almost a million watch time hours, 88.9 thousand subscribers, made a ton of money. So let's take a look at some of these comments. I'm gonna go to the beginning. All right, we're gonna go from the top 6 hours ago. Top guy, Jordan Cooper, says, which they find through networking. Follow the bouncing ball. So let's kind of go down this rabbit hole. I disagree. I get about 60 million views on my YouTube channel per month. Zero networking. When I go live, I have several hundred viewers. Zero networking. I'm just saying, I didn't network to get what I got. Jordan says, that's YouTube, and views can be multiple of the same people watching over and over. This is a really good example of where things start to derail, because it doesn't even make sense with what we're talking about. I'm just saying, if you do a good job, more people will watch. I don't understand why these people want to fight this. Actually, I do. It's because they want to do anything other than doing a good job. They'll find any other means to try and get viewers other than actually just making competitive, compelling, and interesting content. It takes a lot of work to do that. So I try to prove it to him. I say, I mean, this is the past 30 days. I show him some stats. And then this person pops in and says, you didn't get there without networking. Why would I be here saying this? Why would I choose to die on this hill if I networked my way to getting millions of people to watch me? So I say, first of all, how would networking make millions of people want to watch me every day? Second of all, I actually did zero networking. Everyone comes to me because of my content and how far it reaches. When you make dope content, it goes further and people are attracted to you. See, it's just a really good example. Everyone in here is out of their mind. So when I get a bunch of views, I'm networking. I don't even know who you guys are that are watching my videos. How am I networking with you? It just continues. This Jordan guy ended up just saying that I botting all my views, and he didn't even want to argue with it because I challenged him. I said, hey, if your ways work, prove it with your own channel. That's when he started calling me a botter and stuff like that, but whatever. Making making dope content doesn't mean anything if no one knows about it. Not necessarily wrong, but no one's gonna give a F about you if you're not making good content. What happens when you make really good content is people come in and they start stacking. It just happens. You attract them. When it's good, it's attractive and people come to it. It is pretty much like magic. I swear, like just the better videos you make on YouTube that make people watch to the end, or the better streams that make people just watch for hours and then come back every day. Maybe they throw you on when you're at work or something. It just happens. You attract people. It's magnetism. Here's this Ari dude again. You can be incredible, but if you're unknown, no one will view. Networking makes you more known. Being incredible alone won't bring people into the stream, full stop. See, this guy is not incredible with this content, which is why nobody's showing up. So he doesn't know what making incredible content actually feels like. It's powerful. People consume it. So maybe our definition of what incredible content is just completely different. So again, I just say, prove it. I can prove my statements with my own channel. That's what I tell anyone that disagrees. If you disagree, prove it with your own channel. Show me the results you're getting from your networking. Agree to disagree on this one? Hey, I appreciate that. Not some big snarky asshole remarks, you know? This person says, why are you on a networking page then? So I can help people. Somebody finally had some sense. Are people seriously arguing with this dude that gets more views than the whole group combined? Wow. Let me say this, not 100% of the people in these groups are super dumb, okay? Some of them are smart, but you gotta think about it. In the grand scheme of things, when it comes to content creators, most people are gonna be dumb and making mistakes, and only a few are gonna be the ones making the right moves. Those are the ones with the viewers. Eric says, networking is fun and definitely can help to meet people and collaborate, but yeah, at the end of the day, you have to put out the good content. Say 100%, and if you treat networking more of a making friends thing, it's so much less toxic too. Just put your head down and focus on making better content than all the other people you're befriending. I find it much healthier for everyone to have friendly competition of who can make the best content instead of like supporting each other or whatever you want to call it. Then we come across this Rob McManus guy. This guy's a huge asshole. He kept like following him around. I ended up having to block this guy. He's so fucking toxic. I mean, it's two complete different platforms. YouTube has a suggested section which recommends videos similar to what you're watching. Twitch doesn't. Hence why networking on Twitch is recommended. I'm trying to reason with them, so I say I built up to 20K followers on Twitch and averaged 60 to 80 viewers at my height before I decided to transition to YouTube without networking groups. I just put my head down and made better content than everyone else around me. Durian, totally agree. Been trying to network with people for years, but I still don't seem to make connections. However, on the flip side, I still make content, so it's balanced, I guess. I'm glad this guy said something because I wanted to use him as an example. He's the only one being honest that he hasn't gotten anywhere after years of networking. I said, you know what you have to do, because he does. He said it out loud. He's self-aware. He knows what he needs to do. He just needs to make better content. Thought experiment. Imagine if all that energy you spent putting into networking or whatever you want to call it, instead into perfecting skill sets that make you a better creator. This is the lesson I'm trying to teach people. The sooner they just put their head down and get to work, the better. It could end up costing you years if you don't, just like this guy. Hope that guy does well. He's self-aware. That's a big advantage for him. I don't disagree about dope content being a large factor, but you're comparing YouTube and Twitch, totally different platforms. It's not different at the end of the day. If you make bad things, people won't watch it. If you make good things, they will. If nobody's watching you, it's because you're not making good enough content. Nobody wants to admit that they're not good enough. Here's a great content. Show me the ways, master. So here's a really simple explanation. I mean, I keep it very simple for myself. I looked at all my peers and what they're making, and I made a point to just make way better content. I sometimes feel like I worked harder to make my content better than all of them combined. I took it really serious, and it was the most important thing to me in my life at the time, and still is. When building your channel is the most important thing in your life, you have a lot of power, especially when you already know how capable you are at things in life. Now, I don't recommend anybody make their channel the most important thing in their world, but if you can, and you're good, you're gonna win. Obaid says, I think what he's trying to say that most people aren't getting is that networking and marketing yourself are two different things. Not necessarily what I was trying to say, but he's not wrong. Here's Rob again. I looked at your channel. You make reaction videos. A lot of people stream gaming content. Again, I have to defend myself against this guy. He's attacking, right? I made 1,000 videos this year. Most of them are not reaction videos. It's just what I niched into over time. I also have a gaming channel I recently created. By applying the same principles, it's growing about 300 subscribers per day and gaining. I imagine it'll start to catch up to my main channel next year. I'm also tying this to my Twitch and will return to Twitch soon to generate content for said gaming channel. At this point, I'm not even like responding to this guy. I'm responding to anybody that reads it. Are your 1,000 videos 2 minutes and under? Most game channels have videos around 10 minutes. Making 2-minute videos is easy. You don't need to network for reaction videos. It's essentially scrolling to see what is popular and then adding what you you think to it. I'd be interested to see your stats for your gaming stuff. First of all, I make lots of videos. I have short ones, I have long ones. There's 1,000 of them. So like, you know, does he want all of them to be 2 minutes long? Because they're not. So at this point, I'm just saying, you know, if you want to look up stats, bro, go look them up yourself, because I'm just done trying to like get through to this guy. And it's not productive, so there's no point. So I just say, I mean, you can go look them yourself if you like. It's not hard to sort by newest or oldest or most popular. Knock yourself out. Go look at my videos. I know, but you said you have a separate gaming channel. That's what I'd like to see the stats for, if you wouldn't mind sharing. It's Papa Stanimus Gaming. It's literally on my channel. If you looked at my channel, you would have saw it. This guy Austin says that's exactly what I said, but when I posted it, people called me an asshole and a hypocrite. Ever heard of anecdotal evidence? So I'm just like not playing these games, right? So I just say, I challenge anyone who disagrees with me to prove me wrong with their own channel. Anthony Meyer says he's the top 2% of streamers in 6 months, blah, 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 saying all this stuff, right? I went and looked at his channel. He has like 200 followers, all right? He doesn't understand that being in the top 2% is not anything worth bragging about. Once you get into like the 0.05% of Twitch, you're huge, right? 0.5%, maybe you're around like 50 viewer average. This guy is an amateur. He doesn't understand the numbers. Here's the Rob guy again. I mean, I've been asking you to provide evidence, yet you haven't. Telling me people to look you up isn't providing evidence to back your statements. See, this is a really good example of what these groups are. It's these guys that nobody wants to hear facts and information. Nobody wants to be told that what they're doing isn't good enough. And that's why being in these groups and trying to get something out of it is a big waste of your goddamn time. I'm telling you right now, spend 0 time in these groups. I would never want to have Rob anywhere near my stream. This guy is an idiot. So this guy keeps going on. I say, just go to my social blade, you dork. And he got really mad when I called him a dork. This person named Nicola says, when did 100 million become 74? Have I counted wrong this whole time? So, I mean, if we go back up, I'm just showing 1 month's of stats here. Past 30 days, I even say that in here. So this is the stats of the past 30 days, not my all-time stats. I'm not surprised, all right? These people, they don't pay attention to things. Oblivious. I think I've showed you guys enough. Stop wasting your time in there. Come talk to somebody like me or any other big creator who's willing to give you advice or talk to you about stuff if you want to do networking. That's networking. Networking is talking to people who can help you, who know things or know people or some sort of thing they can do to give you an advantage. If you're networking with people that can't give you anything of value, then that's not networking. You're just meeting people. Spend all your time making dope shit. Don't be an idiot. Love you guys. See you in the next video.